Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Big Brother 26 chat.
Oh, hi.
It's finale night! Ah!
Oh my god, it didn't seem like it would ever get here.
Really? I feel like the season went quickly.
90 days.
I have to say, watching tonight's finale, I had a little deja vu. It reminded me a lot of season 16, the way that all played out at the end. We'll get into that. But, right. Yeah, we have our final three.
Chelsea, Mackenzie, and Cam.
Quite the three. I mean, like, okay, season 16 is like Derek, Cody, and Victoria. Is Cam Victoria?
Yes.
Oh, no!
Yes. All right, so the final HOH part 1 was Sever the Source.
Oh.
They're on the jetpacks.
Excuse me, these are the aerial bot whatevers.
They're like...
I forgot the official name for it.
They look like jetpacks.
Basically. So you had to, like, hold on.
This looks like it was fun.
It did look fun, but also painful. You had to hold on to the bars above your head.
Hang on for life.
When they were tilting it forward like that, oh, my little baby arms would have snapped.
What do you think about getting your butthole sprayed?
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, so, like, they had those other robots set up on the ground.
Right.
And they were making it look like they were shooting lasers.
Right, but they weren't.
Instead, the goo was coming out of the jetpack thingies, and it was hitting them straight in the a-hole. The butthole.
And on their back, too. And
but, like, the butt one, what?
The butt one was weird.
That was funny.
Did they try and make them pee themselves?
I'm sorry, but nobody wants to feel goo in their freaking crack. That was mental warfare.
Oh, I don't know. There's probably some people who want that.
That's mental warfare. But anyway, Mackenzie was the first one out.
At 26 minutes. I'm surprised she lasted that long.
Yeah. I mean, this one really does require the core strength and the arm strength.
Cam, Division 1 athlete. Out at 37 minutes, which means...
He lost.
Chelsea won?
Oh, she was so excited. She was crying on the mat.
She's doing a lot of falling down on her knees and crying.
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting to lock your spot in the, in part 3. Mm-hmm. So she was pretty excited about that.
Cam said that he would have cut Chelsea maybe before the final.
Okay, we already had to swap out our battery. So yeah, Cam, he would not. He would not take Chelsea. I mean, sorry, he would take Chelsea to the final too.
Of course,
he's trying to act like he would.
I'm calling BS. Mm-hmm. He's all like, I can make a big move.
Honestly, I think he realized he probably wouldn't have won against either of them. So he was like, you know what? I've been working with Chelsea this whole time, so I'm just gonna stay loyal to her.
I'm just going to be happy making out with her at the rap party and then never again.
Does he want that? I don't know about that. But anyway, okay, part 1 is done. It's time for part 2. This is going to be Cam versus Mackenzie.
First, I have to ask, though.
Okay.
I don't know if you addressed this or not during the spoilers. How did you feel about him saying that he wasn't winning because he wasn't doing something?
Oh, no! I did not talk about that in the spoilers, but I do remember hearing him say that on the live feeds, and I was like, they said it, like, jokingly.
Really?
Like, that was part of why he wasn't winning, but, like, maybe it wasn't
I thought
a
that
total
was his
joke.
explanation. He offered that information freely.
Cam, what?
He got the baby batter on the brain.
Stop! Oh my god, it's too much. I remember, like, the first few days in the house, him just being like, I'm so hot!
Was he walking around?
No, stop! I don't know. It's too much.
All right.
I mean, is that why he wasn't winning? I don't know.
That's what he seems to think.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, everybody, but...
Well, let's talk about part 2.
All right. Well, part 2 was amazing.
They got a message from Derek first, leading into it.
He said, you're going to have to destroy Ainsley's AI brain.
Oh, or my her brain, God.
Because she's AI.
Right.
So they went in the special place, wherever it was. I guess it was the alternate universe there.
Well, he had also let them know, I'm not going to be able to send you a fax this time, because that has been compromised. I can't use that way to get information to you.
Who even uses faxes anymore anyway?
They did in the episode before.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, which was kind of fun because when do you usually get to see a fax machine these
Almost
days?
never.
Almost never, except when it's like an important document and you're just like, how the F am I supposed to fax this?
You scan it to email. Anyway, a freaking raven flew in and delivered a tiny scroll.
I gotta say, that was cool as hell.
That was cool as hell.
Probably one of my top moments of the season. That was really awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so the bird's note said, sorry, excuse me, I had a stomach virus. I'm back in school now. No, just
what?
kidding.
What are you talking about?
You know, like when you have to write a little note for your child after they miss school? Sorry, my kid was crapping their pants. They're back now. All right, so the bird flew in and it said you got to remove the neurons from the column.
The puzzle column.
You said it was a reindeer games puzzle.
This was a similar puzzle to one that they did in the reindeer games, and I think it was part of the final big challenge that they had for Nicole and Taylor.
Right.
In the reindeer games. And I liked it there. I like it here. I like it.
I thought it was cool.
Because you had to, like, rotate the pieces around to make the puzzle work.
It was kind of Survivor-y.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see that. So you had to release 3 neurons
Right.
from that puzzle column.
Then you had to take the 9 jumper cables and wire up the brain so that you could destroy it. Mackenzie was kicking ass.
Yeah, I mean, Cam just could not get past that puzzle column.
He got that baby batter on the brain.
Stop!
So she finished the thing before he even got his 3 neurons out of the lockup.
Was it just me, or did Chelsea seem kind of pissed when Mackenzie was winning?
I mean, I think she was.
I think she kind of seemed like it, right? She kind of seemed disappointed. But,
Mackenzie won part 2.
well, she buzzed in, and Ainsley was all like, you don't really want to do this. Don't do it. You're my favorite. Don't do this.
And then Ainsley split in half.
I mean, I didn't want to see Ainsley...
I don't want to go.
I didn't want to see Ainsley die, even though she's
I
evil.
did.
But also, like, she did kill Janky, and Janky is baby. So,
Yes.
you can't be doing that.
All right. Well.
So yeah, Mackenzie won part 2, which means that Cam can only be brought to the final 2. He cannot get there on his own.
Correct. So now it's time for the jury roundtable, and you know Dr. Will went on Deal or No Deal Island, so he's not coming back this season anyway.
No. But it's gonna be fun to watch him compete on a show again. It's been a long
gonna watch
time.
it.
I'll watch it too, because how could you resist Dr. Will on a show?
I can't.
Yeah.
He's got the Kavorka. All right, so Julie said Dr. Will passed the torch. Does that mean he's donezo forever?
I think he's done, yeah.
Oh, man.
I think he's done.
Well, now it's Taylor Hale.
Oh, Taylor! Very exciting.
Mid. Sorry, but you know what? Julie pulled out of her back pocket a freaking ad for Lovesac.
I know, I asked you straight up, like, did we just watch an ad?
Yeah, we did. For Lovesac, the most expensive sofa in the freaking world.
Yeah, it is very expensive, but it looks comfy.
It looks very comfy.
Not spawn.
No.
I thought that Taylor did a pretty good job. I will say, I always feel like the jury roundtable segment is way too short.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see more.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any drama at this year's roundtable. People were not going after each other.
No.
Which, I miss. It's fun when that happens.
They're recruits.
Yeah.
So, Rubina joined them, and everybody was like,
Aww.
So, they came to the conclusion that Mackenzie is a 9-time comp win.
She's won quite a few competitions.
The odds were against her because she effed up in the beginning and like had that whole triple, thruple showmance, and
she wasn't part of those big majority alliances that got blown up. She was kind of on the outskirts for a long time, so she had to overcome that.
And then we have Chelsea, who is a 4-time HOH winner.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even know that she was tied for the most HOH wins.
Yes, and I know somebody was asking who was she tied with, and I believe it was Vanessa from season 17. Legend.
Yeah.
Teach the children.
Yes, exactly. Angela said Chelsea was persuasive, but she had bad jury management.
I mean, she definitely was persuasive, and I also noticed when Leah was like, oh, Mackenzie took me out, blah, 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 that was her move, and Quinn was like, was that actually good for her game, though, or did somebody else convince her to do that?
Puppet master.
I mean, yeah, that was Chelsea's move.
Quinn knew.
Yeah, he knew what was up.
Leah said, yeah, I didn't like her jury management, though, so...
Well, you know who loves Chelsea?
T-Core.
T-Core has been obsessed with Chelsea since, like, day one.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're not surprised by T-Core really trying to go to bat for Chelsea. T-Core spoke more during this...
than the whole season.
I mean, she spoke a lot to the trio, but I mean, like, in front of everybody else. She had a lot to say at this jury roundtable.
And I absolutely adore her accent, too, so it was nice to actually hear her speak for a change.
It was nice to hear her speak at a full volume and not just whispering. That trio with the whispering.
Oh, my God.
Make it stop!
Cam, he coasted. Let's face it.
Yeah, Taylor was like, maybe we should talk about Cam? I don't know.
Nah, who? Cam who?
I mean, yeah, he's a likable guy. He's a great guy, but like...
Not great at comps.
But also, comps aside, what moves did he really make?
Well, he did talk to Joseph about the Jack Shack in
No!
when he was in solitary confinement.
I will say, Cam was part of a lot of alliances. People wanted to work with him, for sure. But, like, what did he contribute to those alliances?
If Cam had been in solitary confinement and had his poop tent,
I don't want to talk about the tent. Stop it.
Do you think he would have done better in the game?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, right? These are inquiring questions that people want to know. Well, I'm sure they want to know.
I have to say, after seeing the jury roundtable, as expected, it seems like the jury is really leaning towards Chelsea winning. Yes. But I will say, Angela did not seem like she was a big fan of Chelsea's. Leah maybe gonna stick with Mackenzie. That's what it felt like after the roundtable.
All right, well, forget about the jury. We're done with them.
For now.
It's final HOH, part 3.
God.
And it comes down to Chelsea versus Mackenzie.
Okay.
It's called data destruction. You have to identify the corrupt data, which means it's 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, we love 2 truths and a lie.
I love it. I love it.
So there was a different question, a different round for each juror. The rural juror. So they had the avatars for the jurors presenting facts about their games, and you had to pick out which one was incorrect.
Yes. So Mackenzie and Chelsea were tied all the way to the last question.
Oh my God.
And then the last question, one answered one way and the other one answered the other way. So it had to be one of them. There was no tiebreaker.
Oh, the crowd was really like...
Well, I probably have claw marks in the sofa. Mackenzie won.
Okay.
Whoa. Do you think Chelsea threw it?
I'm feeling like no, because I think even though Chelsea was really anxious about making the decision, I do think that she wanted to hold that power when it came down to it.
Right.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she did throw it. I don't know. But I feel like
if she did, I thought that she was very convincing.
Yeah.
That she, didn't throw it. But I don't think she did.
Yeah.
So
that's another win for Mackenzie. She's up to what, 11 now?
11 Z's.
Yeah.
So it's time for Cam and Chelsea to say their piece before Mackenzie decides who she's going to take.
Right.
Cam said, I love the game you played. And shout out to the dogs in the crib.
Well, after he was prompted, because Julie again was like, are you forgetting something?
Yeah. Hello. Don't leave the dogs hanging.
Dogs in the crib must have been one of Julie's favorite things about the season.
Julie actually laughed full on.
Yeah.
Julie doesn't often laugh. It's not in her program. All right. So Chelsea said, make a decision that will make you proud.
That was very much coded, pick
Vote for me.
Or you're going to be a loser because you're deciding to take the easy way out and go against somebody who you could basically, like, dunk on. That's what that meant. right? Because they've talked about it a lot, how they're like, we're the 2 best players in here, the 2 strongest competitors, like, to be the best, you gotta beat the best, like, that kind of mentality, so...
I don't believe in that.
I know. She's basically reminding her, like, you
would
need to go with me or you're gonna be embarrassed.
I would think
I'd go for the win.
Yeah, I would lock in that win.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I don't think Mackenzie realized...
how badly she was manipulated
how
by
mismatched
Chelsea.
she was next to Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she realized that.
No. So Mackenzie decides to get rid of Cam.
Oh my god, it's Cody and Derek again. Here we go.
Yep. So Cam goes out and talks to Julie, and he said, it sucks, but but those 2 deserve it.
I thought he was very gracious in his eviction.
Gracious.
Because he really felt like they deserved to be there at the end. He was really chill about it.
Mackenzie really blew it, though.
Yeah, Julie was asking, like, do you think Mackenzie made a mistake? And even in this answer, he wasn't like, yeah, she sucks. He was like, I think anybody would have a tough time beating Chelsea in that final 2. Which is true. Because she played such a commanding game this season.
Julie said, you're a D1 athlete. WTF.
Oops.
I was waiting for him to say, Julie, it was the baby batter.
No! Stop saying baby batter.
Get it off my mind. All right, so...
No! I thought it was funny how he talked about how humbling it was to be competing on this show compared to, like, playing football.
He also said he was never going to cut Chelsea.
Yeah,
we know. All right, so now it's time for the jury. Bring them out.
Oh, boy.
We got Angela, Quinn, T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, and Leah.
Everybody looked fabulous.
And then Cam came out, and they said, oh.
They figured it was going to be Cam.
Yeah. So the jury...
But wait.
Yeah.
But Quinn's face when they announced that Mackenzie was the one who won HOH and decided to take Chelsea to the final 2, he was all like...
Yeah, well, Quinn's face has been that all season, just like... Or... All right, so they each get 3 questions. They each get to ask a question, but it's going to be 3 questions for each juror. So then I was like, wait, Cam doesn't get to ask a question?
Well, Cam gets to do his own thing, because he was not part of
Julie didn't say that in the
decision.
beginning, so it really hurt my brain.
Well, the way it works, so, like, the jurors came up with these questions together, and they're just each going to be asking one of them.
So Angela was up first for Chelsea. She said, were you a liar?
I mean, I have to say, Chelsea really prepped for her speech and for the questions, because every time she opened her mouth to say something, I was like, wow, this sounds really familiar. She has been practicing these answers, and I feel like she was just, like, waiting for a question where she could, like, kind of make an answer make
Plug
sense.
it in.
Right.
So she didn't really answer the question, because she was just like, oh, I knew when to talk and I knew when to shut up.
So, she was basically like, yeah, I knew some stuff and I kept it a secret. It was that lying? Maybe. I mean, she could have owned it a little bit more in that question, but, you know.
Quinn's question was for Mackenzie. He said, what move did you make that benefited your game?
Oh my god, I knew she was going to say this shit. And honestly, she could have had a good answer for this question. If she brought up how she pushed for T-Core to go when she was up on the block, because Cam and Chelsea were very much against that. And Mackenzie stayed with it and made sure that T-Core was evicted that week. And I feel like that actually was a good move for her game.
Yes.
But she did not give that answer. Instead, she was like, getting rid of Leah, that was my move. Nobody told me to do that.
Nope.
Well,
wrong.
Guess what? First of all, you have no idea how that all actually went down that week. Also, the very next question
was from T-Core for Chelsea, and she said, what move did you make?
What move did you make someone else do?
Oh.
I mean, this was just set up like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. And Chelsea said, well, I made someone get rid of Angela and Leah. It was not 1, but it was a 2.
She was talking about how she put in the work to make Mackenzie, number 1, vote out Angela, but also put Leah up on the block.
Masked
I mean, it's true. Like, there were many instances this season where Chelsea was just calling the shots. She was making it happen.
Yes. So then Leah said for Mackenzie, tell me about your social game. And she said, I was in a few failed alliances, and then I got in an alliance with Chelsea.
She also mentioned that she was, like, in a showmance, and I'm like, since when? Like, she's been very much back and forth about whether or not the thing with Matt was a showmance, a flirtmance,
Did they make out?
She hates his guts. I don't freaking know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. This girl's been locked up for 90 plus days, so maybe there's a Matt makeout in there. I don't know.
Baby got her.
Stop!
Right.
No!
So then,
But wasn't she, like, saying I wasn't able to have the same social game as some people because, like, I had to fight for my life or whatever? Wasn't that basically what she was saying?
What does that got to do with having a social game?
I don't know. But that's what she said.
All right. Well, then Rubina's, for Chelsea, said, why are you worthy?
Right. She was talking about how when you think back on a season, a big part of whether or not that was a good season, it all depends on who won. So they want to have a good representative of their season. So they're asking Chelsea,
what did you do that would
worthy?
make you,
Yeah.
So she said, I was strategic, I was wise, I was social, I kept a bigger threat in front of me, and I won when I had to.
I mean, she's right. She played such a well-rounded game. Let's not forget, she is tied for the most HOH wins in a single season. That's a big deal. But, like, also, she had so much power when she was not in power.
HOH, yes, exactly.
She was able to convince people to do things that were better for her game than for their own. She also, she said, I didn't have to win every competition. I won what I wanted to. And Rubina was like, oh.
That's right. Now, Chemo for Mackenzie said, what did you do?
Same question, basically.
Yeah,
why would you be a worthy winner?
Bachelor number 2, same question. All right, so she said, it was when I got rid of Tucker.
Basically, she was like, I couldn't win the competitions until Tucker was gone.
And then I won stuff, and I made it to the final 2.
It was a lot of, I won a lot of stuff. Basically.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Then Cam came up with a question on the spot, and he said, this one's for Chelsea. And he said, how was your game different from Mackenzie's game?
Now, Cam was 100% being a good ally to Chelsea here, teeing her up with this question. Because
softball.
These were things that he and Chelsea have been talking about the last 2 nights. So he knew that this was going to be good for Chelsea to really get her points across to the jury.
She said, I positioned myself to make it to the end. So whoever was in the end was going to take her.
Right. She's like, I didn't even need to win that final HOH because I knew that I was going to be going to the final 2 no matter what. And she was right.
So now it was time for the final speech. The final nail in the coffin.
I have to ask you, do you think Mackenzie was crapping herself when Chelsea started pointing out all the ways that she controlled Mackenzie?
Yes.
Or is Mackenzie still in denial?
I think Mackenzie knew exactly what was going to happen, but she couldn't let on because she tried to save face, and
I don't know.
I think she knew. I think
From
she
like
knew.
what point?
From the jury
The questioning.
Yeah. Then, when everybody went up and started putting their keys in, then she was just like, OF.
I don't know.
So the final speeches. Chelsea said, I went from 0 to hero. I was a microchip. I couldn't even vote. I couldn't even
compete.
Yeah. So I didn't have to rely on comps to win. Ouch. And then she said, I had a higher percentage of winning because I wasn't nominated as much as Mackenzie. So I didn't have the opportunity to play in as many games as Mackenzie did. So.
I think she said she played in like 7 less games than Mackenzie. And honestly, this point was huge because Mackenzie's whole thing is, I won all these competitions.
Right.
And Chelsea's like, okay, well, my winning percentage was higher than yours. So I'm just taking that away from you right now.
Yes.
It's another feather in my cap.
And then she said, I was a diamond. Beautiful to look at any direction.
Yeah, any angle. Like, her game was really solid.
Yes, and I'm a super fan.
I don't know about that part.
I don't know what that means.
You know that super fan is, it's used very...
Loosely
in this game these days. But yeah, I thought her speech was great. She's been working on it for days now, and it really showed because it was very well crafted. She was polished, like a diamond. Well delivered, yes.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah.
All right, so then Mackenzie said, I was in a showman's.
Well, wait, oh my god, this reminds me. Chelsea also mentioned at one point, like, I could have been in a showmance in the beginning, but, like...
With who?
I know, but I knew that wouldn't be good for my game. I know what happens to people when they get into showmances, like, they become targets. But in my head, I was like, oh my god, did she actually think, like, she was in a showmance with Cam? Or, like, it was gonna be a showmance?
It's a postponed showmance. Postponed to never. Alright, so...
Back to Mackenzie.
I was on the block 4 times. I proved myself. My social game, not as good as Chelsea's. That's when I knew that she just, like, completely given up.
She's realizing, like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but I was the youngest in the final 2.
She said I'm one of the youngest women in the final 2.
Yeah, okay.
But, girl, you're not. You're not.
No.
I guess one of, but...
Yeah, one of. Not even close,
You can't just, like, show up on this show after not watching it and make all of these claims.
We need a BB fact checker.
Yeah.
I wish Julie would have stepped in and said, no, you weren't.
Does Julie know?
I wish somebody would have said in Julie's ear for her to say, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time to vote.
Okay.
But first, let's bring in the first losers.
Oh, yay! I love when they do this.
Yes, so we got Matt, Lisa, Kenny.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like you wrote Rennie.
Cedric, Tucker, Brooklyn, and Joseph.
Right.
Joseph almost didn't show up to the show.
I know. I feel so bad. His family
He's from Tampa.
Was in the path of the latest hurricane.
They don't even have power back yet.
I know, that sucks.
I know.
But I'm glad they're safe and okay.
Yes, same.
And I'm glad he was able to still join and get the full experience.
And we're hoping that everyone that was affected by the hurricanes is okay.
We are thinking of all of you.
Yes. All right, so Julie was very
I thought it was nice that she checked in on him.
Yeah. So we had some receipts that Tucker said he saw about the whole Cedric thing.
The truth will prevail mother effer. And then Julie was like, so did you watch back and you saw what actually happened?
And he said...
Sorry. No, he did apologize to Cedric. I'm sure they've already talked about it.
Of course. All right. So then Lisa said Chelsea was completely different in the diary room than what she was on the show.
I mean...
Or like in front of me anyway.
Chelsea talked quite a bit of crap in that diary room. So I guess that's what she's referring to.
Yes. Tucker brought Rubina flowers.
This was so sweet. For a second, I was like, oh my god, is he, like, about to propose?
I know, right? And then
but I'm glad it was flowers.
And we were like...
It was very sweet, because you know Rubina has been like, oh my god, is he actually still into me? Are we going to be a thing?
Is.
I know, they're cute. I'm really happy for them.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I ship them.
Yes.
All right, so then Mackenzie make out with Matt?
I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. And I feel like she talked so much crap about Matt, and the only reason she started thinking about him again is because Chelsea was like, you like Matt.
Yeah.
Leah said that she was better suited for Matt or whatever, and that was the second where Mackenzie was like, no, he's mine.
I don't think either of them are suited for Matt.
He's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So
then Matt had his moment.
He said that he forgives Angela.
Now, okay, I was like laughing my ass off during this part because I remember one of the times that Mackenzie was talking crap about Matt, she was like, I just know he's going to show up on finale and he's going to be crabbing about the whole crazy eyes situation and no one's going to care because we've moved on from that. Like, that was so long ago. And that's exactly what happened here. He's like, oh, like, everybody was so cool to me after, and it was like a blessing that you did that, Angela.
But you know what? Angela said, I'm not sorry. I stand by what I...
And he was like, I know you've been wondering if I'd give you a hug.
Nope, I'm unbothered.
I wasn't wondering. Yeah, that cracked me up. Oh my God, she stays a legend.
But she did anyway. She
did hug him, yeah. But
good for her.
I'm glad she wasn't like, oh.
Julie said, the show said, you should have regrets, Brooklyn. Do you regret eating Angela's charcuterie?
I mean, it was basically a setup for the whole charcuterie thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm cool with because the cast has not seen this yet. Like, the jury and beyond has not seen this. So, and this was one of my favorite moments of the entire season. This whole charcuterie bit. So I was very happy that we got to see the house guest reactions to it.
Sorry, he was eating a piece of foam.
Yeah, we can't have that.
He's angry.
Bubby,
he said the show's over?
I know. He said, I'm not going to get my little treats before we film.
My pot. He's a pothead.
He loves these.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So, yeah, the charcuterie thing, everybody was cracking up watching it. And I loved it. I'll never get tired of it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Brooklyn said she's got a nice platter waiting for Angela back in Utah.
That's lovely. So, they had the Angela meltdown and everything, which I love.
Her sitting on the diary room floor being like...
Yes. Tucker reveals himself as the instigator, to which Rubina was shocked.
It was funny because we know, like, his comic was the instigator, but I guess they didn't even realize that that's what that twist was called. So when they saw his comic, they were just like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they finally learned, and Rubina was like, so you outed us as a showmance. So Tucker got to explain why he did that, and, you know, I'm sure they're going to be fine.
I'm sure. So then Julie says, kids, I've got news for you.
I was curious if they were going to do this, because this is crazy. They are some of the last people in this country to find out what's going on with the election. So
Julie said Joe Biden stepped down. Kamala is going up against Trump. So everybody was like, oh, what?
Yeah, people were freaking shook, as they should be. Like, that's a big change.
It's huge.
So it was interesting to see everybody's reactions to that. I feel like T-Core was just like... But she was probably just like shocked by the whole thing. So
Julie said the show's almost over, so we got to get to the voting results. And the voting results are Chelsea wins BB26.
I mean, we knew that was coming, right?
Unanimously.
Woo!
Even Angela voted for Chelsea.
When we saw that Angela and Leah both voted for Chelsea, we were like, oh, snap.
Didn't want to be on the wrong side of the vote again.
But also, Chelsea was so deserving of this win.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, probably one of the most dominant games we've seen in quite a while. But like, she's up there.
Dominant, low-key.
Right. I mean, like, masterfully done. Like, people didn't even realize that she was controlling what they were doing. It was very much reminiscent of Derek and Cody. Now we have the female version of that. And Chelsea is also the first woman to win unanimously.
Yes.
So that's a big deal.
Favorite house guest time.
Oh my God.
So Julie said, let's reveal the top 3 in no particular order. So it's Angela versus Tucker versus Quinn. Quinn was shocked. I think he pooped his pants.
I mean, good. I'm happy for him because we know he is actually a huge fan of this show.
He's a super fan.
So good for him to be in the top 3. Angela was like, me? And of course we knew Tucker was going to be in there, right?
Right. So we were hoping that it was going to be Angela, but Tucker's a good choice too.
Yeah, I'm very happy for him.
So
$50,000.
Yeah, and he also set a record, a first. It's the first time that a non-jury, non-finalist for the show has won. Yeah. Because he wasn't on that long.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
To win after being evicted so long ago. And he also got, what was it, like $20K for his instigator?
Yeah.
So, like, he basically won...
second place.
The same amount as Mackenzie, because he is also going to still get his stipend.
Oh.
Whereas Mackenzie, I don't think gets her stipend.
Yeah, I don't think she gets the stipend.
I think first place and second place do not. They just get their prize money.
Right.
So he's getting the 50, the 20, plus stipend. He's getting more money than Mackenzie.
Cha-ching.
Second place.
All right.
Not too
so
bad.
Then Julie pulled out her acting skills from her old days at St. Francis Preparatory High School. And she said, what's happening in the house? I think something's happening in the house. Oh my God.
I thought she was going to announce reindeer games, but...
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, or Janky games. Because
oh my God.
Janky came back to life.
Yes! Oh, thank God.
He was rebooted.
I'm still scarred by the whole, like, Janky
Puff
death
smoke?
scene. Yeah, so...
That was awful.
I'm very glad that he came back to life.
Do you think they did that in response to everyone's like, that was
Everyone
bad.
being freaked out? I think they probably had it planned all along.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if they had it planned all along, but
I'm just glad he's still with us.
They rebooted him and he said, hey, for all time's sake, how about we do one more sing-along?
Let's sing a song. I'm just glad it wasn't the remember the good times that we...
No. So everybody re-sang the Janky song and they did the little do-do-do-do at the end, and it was a great time. Great time was had by all, including Janky.
Oh, Janky, we love you.
Take a pee.
So that's it. That's season 26. I have to say,
we made it.
One of my favorite seasons, yes, in a very long time. So satisfying to watch. So many twists and turns. A successful twist. How often do we see that with the AI Arena?
This was probably one of the best twists that I've ever seen on the show.
This cast was freaking unhinged. Kept it really interesting all throughout. So
maybe recruits are the way to go.
I mean, what more could we ask for? I know. We saw them put out the commercial for casting, and it's like...
Don't apply. You're not going to get picked. They're just going to pick people off of Instagram.
Just keep posting on your social media if you want to be on the show. Because that's where they're getting most of the cast now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this season, so it was like a breath of fresh air after,
Very enjoyable. And even the no flashbacks, we made it work.
We made it work. And that is due to the hard work of a lot of people coming together. So I really have to give a huge thanks again to all of the updaters on Twitter, on their own websites, like Hamster Watch, everybody. Everybody pulled together to make it work. So,
but you're the Janky of the show.
Of this show? No.
Of this show.
Are you the Ainsley? Oh, no. JK.
Better watch out. I'll make you go up in a puff of smoke.
No. Well, thanks everybody so much for watching all season long. We've had a lot of fun with you. And
we did.
Also, special thanks to all of our patrons, all the super chatters.
All of the people who gave us a like or just even watched. We appreciate you all.
Mm-hmm. So,
hopefully we'll see you next season.
Julie said next summer.
Oh. Maybe we'll get a reindeer games. Don't know.
I feel like they would have announced it.
But if it's Big Brother, we'll be there.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching.
Oh.
And Bowie. And from Bowie, of course. Yes. Bowie says thank you as well.
Yes.
He's our big boy.
Yes.
And until next time, us, Bowie, and Lammy.